Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhondial. By the looks of it, Parliament will be functioning well into the night today, debating a bill that has become the bone of contention between the opposition and the government. That's the G Ramji bill that essentially is an upgraded version of Manrega minus Mahatma Gandhi's name on it. It's very interesting that a bill that impacts 83 million poor people in our country is being debated minus the two leading lights of Parliament, the Prime Minister and the Leader of Opposition, Rahul Gandhi. The Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, has been in Ethiopia today, where he was honored with the country's highest civilian award. When he spoke today in Ethiopia's Parliament, it was met with a thunderous applause that headlined with a 90-second standing ovation. Take a look.
As vibrant and diverse democracies, we both understand that democracy is a way of life and it is a journey. It is shaped sometimes by debate, sometimes by disagreement, but always by belief in the rule of law and the will of the people.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, while the Ethiopian Parliament was very clearly impressed with the Prime Minister's words, the opposition back home clearly wasn't. They wanted to know why the Prime Minister was out and about when the Parliament was in session. The Congress went a step further. Supriya Shrinet took a direct hit at the Prime Minister, saying, Modi says in Ethiopia, I come to you with respect for your Parliament, your people and your democratic journey. While he has undermined our own Parliament repeatedly, is changing the one law that guarantees our people work and has destroyed our own democracy. From then on, there was a barrage of reactions coming in from the opposition. Take a look.
प्रधानमंत्री कहाँ हैं? विप तो बीजेपी ने भी जारी कर रखी है. आप राहुल जी से सवाल पूछते हो, प्रधानमंत्री से सवाल नहीं पूछते आप. आपको केवल एक ही काम रह गया, राहुल जी, राहुल जी, राहुल जी, बस.
तो प्रधानमंत्री चाहते तो अपनी इथियोपिया यात्रा पार्लियामेंट सेशन के बाद कर सकते थे. पार्लियामेंट में विपक्ष के सवालों का जवाब देते. पासपोर्ट इंडेक्स घट के 85 रैंकिंग में आ गया इंडिया का पासपोर्ट. तो यात्राएं तो प्रधानमंत्री इतनी करते हैं, लेकिन जो विश्व गुरु बनने की क्षमता है वो कम हो रही है.
Ladies and gentlemen, rich of the opposition to be commenting on the Prime Minister's absence and disregard for Parliament, given that the Leader of Opposition himself is missing in action. This despite the fact that his own party has issued a whip for all MPs to be present in the House for this G Ramji bill vote. The whip, of course, doesn't apply to Rahul Gandhi, who is in Germany today and visited the iconic BMW plant in Munich. There, he applauded the Made in India TVS 500 bike on display that has been developed in partnership with BMW. But he had one lament. He said that manufacturing in India has dipped.
Saw the BMW factory, fantastic experience, and I was particularly excited to see that they've got a 450cc bike that TVS has made with them. So I think that's going to do well. Good to see that Indian flag is flying there.
इंडिया से है पर दुबई रहते हैं, तो इधर घूमने आए हैं. और इन्होंने आपको देखा, ही सॉ मी वेन राहुल.
India needs to start producing. Production is the key for the success of any country, and our manufacturing is declining. It should actually be going on. Thank you.
The BJP, ladies and gentlemen, jumped immediately and accused Rahul of indulging in his favorite pastime, which is flying abroad and insulting Indian on foreign soil, according to them. The Congress said what Rahul was saying is actually factually correct.
Rahul Gandhi, this is the first time that our defense exports have reached 23,000 crores. The FDI in manufacturing has grown exponentially in the last few years. IIP, PMI index, all of them show record manufacturing prowess in this country. But unfortunately, except for manufacturing lies, Congress has done nothing. It undermines India's army's achievements, it undermines India's economic achievements, and undermines India's democratic achievements.
That's true that we are only assembling, manufacturing has to increase. We can't be an assembling India products, we have to be manufacturing. That's the greatest problem we are having it. And all governments accept it, and all industries also accept it.
So the question, ladies and gentlemen, is manufacturing in India on decline, like Rahul Gandhi says? Well, fact is, if you look at the data, it is stagnant. It was 17.3% of our GDP when Dr. Manmohan Singh was ending his tenure as Prime Minister. It is still 17.3% under Prime Minister Modi. It's a worry because more manufacturing means more jobs. So the question is it fair for the opposition to come after Rahul Gandhi like a ton of bricks? Or should Rahul himself be a little mindful about making negative comments about India on foreign soil, even ladies and gentlemen, if they are true? My guest this evening, Sanju Verma, hi, welcome back on the show. Good to see you. I'm going to start with you today. Dr. P.K. Basu, economist, good evening, sir. Saral Patel, spokesperson of the Congress Party. Good evening, Saral. Good to have you on the show. And Sanjeev Kaushik ji, political analyst, joining us on the broadcast. He's given us Shakshat Darshan, as I say, because it can be a bit of a pain in Delhi's pollution and traffic to come to the studio. Sanju Verma, what is the problem with what Rahul Gandhi is saying, may I ask you? Even if Rahul Gandhi goes abroad and says, hello, how are you? I'm sure the BJP will have a problem.
Shreya, good to be back on your show. Very quickly, you know, Rahul Gandhi says that manufacturing in India is not happening. It is stagnant, blah, 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 blah. So just some hard facts and very quickly for the benefit of your viewers. Point number one, electronics manufacturing in 2015 was 1.9 lakh crore. Today, it is 12.3 lakh crore. Electronics exports in 2014 was 38,000 crore. Today, it is more than 3.27 lakh crore. We had only 2 mobile manufacturing units in 2014. Correct. Today, we have more than 300 units. The mobile phone production in value terms was only 18,000 crore in 2014. Today, it is more than 5.45 lakh crore. Mobile phone exports in 2014, only 1,500 crore. Okay. Today, it is more than 2.5 lakh crore. Now, let's come to automobile manufacturing. Very quickly, Shreya, just 10 seconds.
Okay.
Vehicle production in 1991 was 2 million units. Today, it is 28 million units, close to 3 crore vehicles being produced in India every single year. And last point, by 2030, we are on track to produce 50 million vehicles, that is 5 crore vehicles. And by 2047, 200 million vehicles. And the final point, Shreya, you've been so patient. Final point. Today, Rahul Gandhi ji, if you and your Darbaris are watching Shreya Dhondial's show in 10 seconds, India is the world's 2nd largest steel manufacturer, 2nd largest cement manufacturer, the world's 5th largest stock exchange, the world's 3rd largest energy producer, the world's 4th largest two-wheeler manufacturer, the world's 3rd largest tractor manufacturer, the world's 2nd largest solar energy power producer, the world's 3rd largest...
Sanju, listen. I know you do your research very well and come. Some of what you're saying is on our screens as well. Sanju, while there is absolutely no doubt about the fact that India is doing well when it comes to automobiles, when it comes to mobile handsets, I agree with you there. Our defense production has also increased significantly from what it was 11 years ago. I give you that. But the larger number doesn't change, Sanju Verma. The fact is, as I said, when Dr. Manmohan Singh was bidding his prime ministership goodbye, what was the percentage of manufacturing in our GDP? 17.3%. That was exactly the same last year as well, Sanju. So the larger
Can I
picture
just
doesn't
respond
change,
to
but
that,
let's.
please?
Dr. Basu
Can I
will
just
bola.
respond to
I
that,
think
please?
Dr. Basu wants to come in and correct me. Please go ahead,
Yeah.
Dr. Basu.
Okay, now the only reason the share of manufacturing in GDP remains stable or even declining a bit is that the rest of the economy, the services sector, is growing spectacularly.
Correct.
Over the last 26 years, the services sector has grown at an average annual pace of 8.6%. Now, if the share of manufacturing in GDP is to increase, it must grow faster than 8.6%. That is the simple arithmetic.
Correct.
So, simply because manufacturing share is not increasing, that does not mean that manufacturing isn't growing or that it is stagnant.
Okay.
Manufacturing is growing at a spectacular pace. In fact, if you look at, say, steel, for instance, Sanju correctly pointed out, we are the second largest steel producer in the world. But not only that, if you look at steel manufacturing in India today, it is 63% higher than in 2020. World steel production is down this year relative to 2020. So world steel production is declining.
Okay.
India's steel production, 63% in less than 5 years. It is the only major steel producer that is seeing growth at all of any significance.
Okay.
So this is just one. Similarly with aluminium, with other basic metals, with cars, India is actually seeing substantial growth.
But
in
Dr. Basu,
a whole slew
Dr.
of
Basu,
manufacturing.
While you are
including
the
fact-
expert here, Dr. Basu, while you are the expert here, I am just quoting from a Niti Aayog report that says that
you're
manufacturing
perfectly
is failing to shift the needle, that it is stagnant in the last 11 years between 17%
It is not
to
stagnant.
18.5%.
Its share is stagnant.
Okay.
Its share of GDP.
Okay.
The GDP itself is the fastest growing in the world.
Saral,
The average growth of real GDP in the last 4.5 years, average annual growth rate is 8.2%.
ठीक है.
So if manufacturing share is to grow, it must grow even faster than 8.6% services growth,
Okay.
which is not happening, of course.
Okay,
But
Saral Patel.
it is growing at nearly the 8% pace.
Okay.
Which, if you
I
look
get,
around
I get
the
your
world,
logic.
there
I
are
get your
not too
logic.
many
Let the
countries
Congress come in
that are
here.
growing.
Saral
And
Patel
manufacturing-
essentially.
India's manufacturing sector is the 5th largest in the world now.
Okay.
It is the 5th largest. There are only 4 others that are faster growing. So that have a bigger
Okay,
manufacturing
acha, ho
sector.
gaya bhai. Ab you've made the case. Okay, Sanju and Dr. Basu, you've made the case for the Prime Minister. Let Saral Patel come in and make his case for Rahul Gandhi. Saral, please go ahead.
Shreya, as you rightly said that, anytime if Rahul Gandhi even breathes outside the country, the BJP will cry horse and, go all out in their propaganda against the leader of opposition. Because let me, address it head on. What is their basic problem? Their basic problem is that, when you are a prime minister of a country like India, it is naturally that, you are respected around the world. But when you are somebody who has not been the prime minister, somebody who has not even held the cabinet position, and you are just a leader of opposition, 117 parties alliance, the Progressive Alliance invites you to Germany, out of which 30 parties are the ruling parties of the world. When they invite you to their presidium and say that, please chair our presidium, that is what hurts the BJP, that why Rahul Gandhi commands so much respect in the international community, something that Prime Minister fails to do. So that is their basic problem every time Rahul Gandhi steps out of India.
Saral, can I interrupt you here? Now you will say कि आप BJP वालों को तो नहीं interrupt करते, Congress वालों को interrupt करते हो, but that's not true. Because I just want to put out the pictures of the Prime Minister in Ethiopia getting a standing ovation for 90 seconds. You're saying he doesn't get respected abroad and Rahul Gandhi gets respected abroad.
Obviously, I addressed it on set that when you are the prime minister of a country like India, it is natural that you get honors and respect from across the world, as it should be. And that is the rightful place of India and any prime minister. That is because of the years of hard work that Indian foreign policies did before the prime minister. Now let me come to the head-on question that Mr. Basu and my friend Sanju Verma was saying. They gave the absolute numbers, that it was XYZ crores, now it is in lakhs. So when the scale of the economy rises obviously the absolute numbers will rises, but the fact remains that when Prime Minister Manmohan Singh demitted his office, the growth rate was the manufacturing share in the GDP was 17.5%. Today, according to the Prime Minister, the government's own estimate, that is 15-something%. But when you look at the independent study of World Bank in 2024 that pegs the India's manufacturing share in the GDP at mere 12%. That is the fact. And this despite in 2014 Prime Minister coming out with schemes like Make in India, where hundreds and thousands of crores have been spent
the fact that this government has tried to push manufacturing, Sanju Verma. Will you agree with me or not? The government has tried as hard as it can to push manufacturing. Now the BJP can come today and say, oh, India is the 5th largest manufacturer in the world, etc. and sab changa hai. But the fact is that when it comes to manufacturing, there is a worry because manufacturing is directly linked to job generation. Now, if Rahul Gandhi, as leader of opposition, is expressing that concern, wo galat to nahi bol raha na, then why come after him? Now, the Congress party is saying you're coming after him because he's getting global recognition. He's getting global invites despite the Prime Minister trying his best to ensure that the leader of opposition doesn't meet anyone.
Yes, Rahul Gandhi is getting global recognition. Shreya Dhondiyal is Madonna, Sanju Verma is Taylor Swift, and Mr. Basu is Elton John.
Why do I get to be Madonna? I don't know. And why do you get to be Taylor Swift?
You get Taylor Swift, I get to be Madonna. Chalo, badal lete hain. Okay.
I just wish to retire. Go ahead.
Okay. So let me just say this, Shreya. Rahul Gandhi can, screech from every available rooftop. But we need to listen to the hard facts. When Prime Minister Modi took charge in 2014, in absolute numbers, our GDP was $1.8 trillion. Today it is close to $4.3 trillion, which means in 11 years, there's been a massive 139% jump, which is not a mean achievement. Where is Amazon's largest facility center? It is in India. Where is Suzuki's largest auto hub? It is in India. Where is Gift City located, which is an international business hub? It is located at Gandhinagar in Gujarat, and Gift City at 7 million square feet is bigger than Pentagon at 6.5 million square feet. And Shreya, one last point. Do you remember, I don't think any of us have forgotten the horrifying COVID pandemic. We delivered 194 crore doses in just 18 months. Under Prime Minister Modi, the vaccination drive in India was the largest and the fastest one. And guess what, Shreya? We delivered more than 65% of the global vaccines, including delivering vaccines to 42 African nations. To Ethiopia alone, we delivered 4 million vaccines. तो जब लोग कहते हैं, 1 minute, जब संजू वर्मा ट्विटर पर लिखती है ना, मोदी है तो मुमकिन है. I say that because there's a reason. It's not because I'm a Charan Chumbak.
All of that is okay. And you have said where is this and where is that and where is Gift City, etc. Then people will also ask you where are the jobs, huh? Because the unemployment rate in India has increased from 5.1% to 5.6% in May 2025. लेकिन संजीव कौशिक जी जरा आप आइए इस डिस्कशन में और बोलिए, प्रधानमंत्री अगर जाते हैं इथोपिया और वहां पे उनको स्टैंडिंग ओवेशन मिलता है तो ऑपोजिशन के पेट में दर्द हो जाता है कि ये क्यों गए बाहर. राहुल गांधी जाते हैं और कुछ नेगेटिव बोल देते हैं तो उसको डिफेंड करने के लिए एकदम ऑपोजिशन आ जाती है. मेरा सिंपल सा सवाल आपसे कौशिक जी ये है कि अपने घर की बुराई बाहर जाके कोई करता है क्या? चाहे वो सच भी हो.
देखिए, हिंदुस्तान में जिस तरह की राजनीति चल रही है और जिस तरह से सारे संस्थाओं को कब्जा करके, और नई बात, अब ये आंकड़ों की बात जो लगातार अभी चल रही थी, मुझे लगता है कि उन आंकड़ों पर हमें जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. बहुत कुछ क्लियर हो गया कि जहां मनमोहन सिंह छोड़ के गए थे उससे भी अब नीचे दिखाई दे रहे हैं. आज
सारे इकोनॉमिस्ट से अगर आप न्यूट्रल इकोनॉमिस्ट से बात करें तो बोलेंगे कि मैन्युफैक्चरिंग स्टैग्नेंट है, जितनी तब थी उतनी अब है. बोलिए.
ठीक है. तो फिर 11 साल का कोई मतलब बनता नहीं है. हम तो सिर्फ ये कहने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं कि राहुल गांधी यदि बाहर जा रहे हैं और देश में बेरोजगारी यदि चरम पे है उसके बारे में चर्चा कर रहे हैं तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पेट में कैसे मरोड़? वो कहते कि नहीं, ये कुछ नहीं है. सब चंगा सी, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है।
No.
प्रॉब्लम यह है कि आपने शुरुआती दौर में, अभी आपने सवाल ही उल्टा किया हमसे कि राहुल गांधी, विपक्ष को परेशानी है कि देश के प्रधानमंत्री बाहर क्यों जाते हैं। विपक्ष को परेशानी नहीं है, विपक्ष सत्ता में बैठे हुए लोगों को परेशानी है कि राहुल गांधी बाहर क्यों जाते हैं। वो कैसे यूनिवर्सिटी में जाकर बच्चों से बात करते हैं, कैसे जाके लेक्चर देते हैं। है हिम्मत तो जाइए, कोई बुलाए तो जाइए, किसी मुद्दे पर बात कीजिए और समझाइए लोगों को, यदि उतनी ही क्षमता है तो। आप बात को सीधे कट नहीं कीजिए, आपको कोई सुनना भी तो चाहे ना।
नहीं तो वो
कोई सुनना भी तो चाहे ना। आप ताली
पार्लियामेंट में क्या हो रहा था, वो ऐसे ही ताली बजा रहे थे।
देश के प्रधानमंत्री है, मेरे लिए भी सीना चौड़ा हो गया, लेकिन आप उसमें दाल में कंकड़ मत डालिए कि हमें ये लगने लगे कि नहीं खड़ा होकर कर रहे हैं।
दाग में तो
अच्छी बात है
कौशिक जी, दाग में तो तिनका ऑपोजिशन वाले देख रहे थे। आपने इमरान मसूद का साउंड बाइट सुना? कहाँ है प्रधानमंत्री, मुंह छुपा के भाग गए। ये आप भी देखिए ना, ऑपोजिशन क्या करता है।
इसलिए ये एक तरफा हो जाएगा। सत्ता पक्ष के लोगों ने राहुल गांधी के बारे में क्या क्या नहीं बोला बाहर जाने के लिए, वो आपने एक भी बाइट नहीं सुनाई, नहीं चलाई। ये एक तरफा हो गया, ये एक तरफा हो गया। मैं यही कह रहा हूं कि राहुल गांधी यदि बाहर जा रहे हैं तो राहुल गांधी विपक्ष के नेता है। सत्ता पक्ष वाले को काम करना है, विपक्ष सवाल करता है, काम नहीं करता, उसके हाथ में कुछ नहीं है। वो जबरदस्ती आपसे काम करवाने की जिद ठानता है और आपसे काम करवाता है। जो करने वाला है वो गायब हो जाए, उसके बारे में कोई चर्चा नहीं है। और जो विपक्ष में उसे पूछा जाए कि आप कहां चल दिए।
बोलो संजू, गो अहेड।
You know, Shreya, I completely denounce this narrative. I call it narrative jihad. That, manufacturing is stagnant. No, it is not. Do you know something? It was in 1998 that the first Macintosh computer became available for sale in India. But it was only in 2017 that India actually started manufacturing iPhone. Please keep quiet. I did not interject.
Patel, I'll come to you. I will give 20 seconds to Sanju Verma, then I'll give 30 seconds to you. Wait, but don't interrupt her. Sanju, go ahead.
Shreya, आपको पता है पूरा दरबारी इकोसिस्टम ने लिखा था that Narendra Modi should not be given ever a visa to the United States of America, और इनका यदि वीजा है रिवोक किया जाए. And do you know something? Today, not just as the national spokesperson of BJP, but as an Indian, which are the only 3 leaders apart from Narendra Modi who have addressed the joint session of the US Congress? It is Nelson Mandela, Winston Churchill, Benjamin Netanyahu, and our very own Prime Minister Narendra Modi. और आप कहते हो कि हमको राहुल गांधी के चरण चुंबक बनना है. मोदी जी ने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं. Wake up and smell the coffee, my friend.
Mr. Patel, go ahead. Mr. Basu, I'll come in. Give me a minute. I'll give you 20 seconds to conclude since you're an economist, but go ahead, Mr. Patel.
Shreya, so this is a complete lie. Even Manmohan Singh, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, addressed the US joint session when the President Barack Obama was the president of the US. So this is a complete lie. Now, my friend was talking about absolute numbers. From 2004 to 2014, when 2004, when we took over, the economy was 729 billion. We grew it up to 2.4 billion when we demitted office in 2014. The CAGR, the compounded annual growth rate, is 11.2%. The compounded annual growth rate from 2014 to 2024 is only 8.2. My friend would talk about COVID. India was we faced the maximum issue during 2008 world crisis also. So despite that economy grew because we had a informed and able Prime Minister at the helm of the nation. Unlike
so this Prime Minister is not informed and able. Is that what you are saying?
And Shreya, I said Narendra Modi has
Mr. Patel,
yes, absolutely. Otherwise the numbers would show that.
Mr. Basu, I'll let you counter then. 10 seconds, please.
Okay, the simple fact is that the economy has grown much faster during the first 5 years of Narendra Modi's prime ministership. It was the fastest 5-year period of growth in India's history. And of course, then we had COVID. COVID had a huge impact on the global economy. It had a big impact on India as well. In the 4.5 years since the end of the COVID pandemic, India has grown again at 8.2% in real terms. That is easily the fastest 4.5 years of growth in India's history since 1947. So if you look at growth, in 9 of the last 12 years, India has been the fastest growing G20 economy in the world. And those are the only 9 of the last 78 years in which India has achieved that distinction. This is a simple fact.
Okay.
During the entire Manmohan Singh period, the Chinese economy is growing faster than India. So India was not the fastest growing economy in any single year out of those 10 years. And India also had the highest inflation rate that it has had in the last 30 years during the last 5 years of Manmohan Singh's prime ministership.
I can argue the other way as well, because that's the beauty about data. You can argue either which way. Right now, as we speak, the rupee is the worst performing currency in Asia. But we'll leave it there. I think, this entire debate is on numbers. It's on rhetoric as well. But thank you all for being with us this evening. Sanju Verma, Dr. P.K. Basu, good to have you on the show. Saral Patel, thank you. And Sanjeev Kaushik, thank you very much for joining us. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, a quick break. There's more on the other side. Do stay with us.